I trusted him more than I trusted myself, and that was my mistake. My name is Lupa, but Dwayne always called me Lupita, sweet and endearing, like he owned the right to claim me. We lived together in a cozy little house on the outskirts of San Antonio, in a neighborhood where everyone knew everyone, especially in our close-knit Latino community. I thought we had it all: love, a home, and a future. The thing is, I loved him with every fiber of my being. I had quit my job to support his career, and he promised to take care of me. I was his rock, his confidant, his everything. Or so I thought. He would often tell me that I was the only one who truly understood him, that I was his soulmate. I believed him, and I felt the same way about him. At first, everything seemed perfect. We would spend our days exploring the city, holding hands, and laughing together. He was charming, charismatic, and made me feel like I was the only woman in the world. But as time went on, I started to notice little things that did not add up. He would come home late at night, smelling freshly showered, and I would ask him where he had been, and he would just shrug it off, telling me he had stopped to grab a drink with friends. I would brush it off, thinking maybe he was just stressed with work. But then, there were the nights he would get these mysterious texts, and he would quickly silence his phone, telling me it was just work-related. And when I would try to get close to him, he would push me away, saying he was tired. I started to feel like I was walking on eggshells, never knowing when he would snap at me. He would always turn every argument around to make himself the victim, making me feel like I was the one who was wrong. I tried to brush it off, thinking maybe I was just being paranoid. But deep down, I knew something was off. He became extremely protective of his phone, always keeping it close to him, even in the shower. And our intimacy? Forget about it. He just was not interested anymore. I tried to talk to him about it, but he would just tell me I was being too sensitive, that I was overreacting. It was not until he surprised me with a bouquet of expensive flowers out of the blue that I started to feel a nagging sense of unease. Why would he do that? It was not like him. And then I saw him post a story on social media, smiling with some young woman, and I felt a pang of jealousy. I tried to shake it off, but it lingered. That's when I decided to post a photo of us together on his birthday, just to show everyone how much we loved each other. But little did I know, that post would change everything. As I was scrolling through his social media, I saw a photo that made my heart stop. It was a picture of him holding a little girl with a caption that read, "My little princess." My mind went blank. Who was this little girl? And why did he never tell me about her? I felt like I had been punched in the gut. I could not breathe. I could not think. All I could do was stare at the photo, over and over again, trying to process what I was seeing. My head was spinning and my heart was racing. I felt like I was going to throw up. And then, I saw more photos of him with this little girl, and another woman who I assumed was her mother. My world came crashing down. I felt like I was living in a nightmare. I did not know what to do, but I knew I had to know more. I started to dig deeper, and what I found out was worse than I could have ever imagined. He had a secret child, a 6-month-old baby girl, and he had been keeping it from me the entire time. I felt like I was going to lose my mind. I could not believe what I was hearing. All those times he told me he loved me. All those times he said I was his everything. It was all a lie. I knew I had to confront him, but I was scared. I did not know how he would react, or what he would say, but I knew I had to do it. I called my best friend, Maria, and she came over right away. She could see the pain in my eyes, and she knew something was wrong. I told her everything, and she listened, her face filled with anger and disgust. "You deserve so much better than him, Lupita," she said, her voice shaking with emotion. "He's a monster." I knew she was right, but a part of me still loved him, still wanted to believe that he would change, that he would tell me the truth. But as I looked at Maria, I knew I had to let him go. I had to take back control of my life. The next day, I confronted him. I gathered everyone who needed to know: Maria, his mother, and even his best friend, Carlos. I wanted him to know that I knew the truth, and that he could not hide anymore. As he walked into the room, I could see the guilt written all over his face. He knew he had been caught. "Lupita, I can explain," he stammered, but I was not having it. "Explain?" I repeated, my voice rising. "You think you can explain away a secret child? You think you can just lie to me and get away with it?" His mother stood up, tears streaming down her face. "Lupita, mija, I am so sorry." I had no idea. I was wrong to raise him the way I did. But I was not interested in her apologies. I was interested in the truth. How could you do this to me, Dwayne? I asked, my voice shaking with emotion. How could you lie to me and use me and throw me away like I meant nothing to you? He looked down, his eyes filled with shame. I was weak, Lupita. I was stupid. I did not know what I wanted. But I knew what I wanted. I wanted the truth. And I wanted to be free. As I looked at him, I felt a sense of strength rising up inside me. I knew I deserved better. I knew I was worth more than what he had given me. And with that, I walked away. I walked away from him, from the pain and from the lies. I walked towards a new beginning, a new chapter in my life. It was not easy, but I did it. And as I looked back, I knew I had made the right decision. I had taken back control of my life, and I had found my voice. I was no longer the woman who had been blinded by love. I was the woman who had been broken, but had risen from the ashes. And I was ready to start again,